Hey everybody, I'm here for Fresh New Voice of YA, and today I'm going to be reading from Rival by Sara Bennett Wealer. And this came out earlier this week, and I already posted my review, and I absolutely loved this book. It was a really good contemporary read, and it's just, it was just really good. And it takes place over Brooke and Catherine's junior and senior years. And so the book is split up between those two, and then it's so it's split up between junior and senior year, and then it's split up between Catherine and Brooke's viewpoints. And junior year they become friends, and then some things happen, and eventually they become rivals, and things happen, and then they are kind of just tolerating each other in a sense, like they're just nothing much is happening until a year later in their senior year when they're up for competition in this huge singing competition. And so all of the stuff that happened a year ago is all just kind of coming back, and now that they're actual rivals for this singing competition. So I'm going to be reading from their senior year a little bit later in the book, and from Catherine's point of view. So you're going to homecoming with John Morehouse. The voice comes from behind as I crouch at my locker, pulling books into my backpack during morning break. I turn to see Chloe Romelli standing over me. I should have known this was coming. Ever since John asked me 2 days ago, questions have been ricocheting around in my head like little boomerangs. Why did he ask me? Why did I say yes? And what if John is part of Brooke's new campaign? The bait in some scheme to lure me out so that she and her friends can have a last laugh at my expense. That must be the plan, or Chloe wouldn't be standing here while Lord Lindner, her newest appellate, glances territorially around the hallway, practically daring somebody to interrupt us. He asked me, I say. I know he did, Chloe replies. You going? I pause. Am I going? I haven't told Matt yet because the whole thing happened so fast, and I wasn't thinking straight thanks to the migraine, which still buzzes faintly behind my eyes. Besides, if this is a plot, then I would be an idiot to go walking right into it. John doesn't seem like the type of guy who would participate in one of Brooke's vendettas, but then I don't really know him all that well, now do I? Still, I hate the tone of voice Chloe is taking with me. Considering that she hasn't given me the time of day in months, I'd say the signs all point to a new plot in the making. Well, she presses, are you going or not? Maybe, I say. Look. Her voice descends to a concerned-sounding murmur, the same one that used to make me feel like I was being let in on some valuable piece of advice or information. Brooke would probably kill me if she knew I was talking to you about this, but I really think you ought to know. She likes John. She pauses and looks intently at me. I stare back. So? Impatience flashes in her eyes. She fixes me with an even weightier stare. So maybe you could think about her feelings a little bit? I don't think she knows about the two of you yet, and that's a good thing, believe me. It's really going to tear her up when she finds out. This is an interesting twist. After everything that's happened, I'm supposed to consider Brooke's feelings? I'm so shocked that all I can do is blink. Okay, Chloe says it like we've concluded a nasty bit of business that we can now put behind us. I'm not sure what she thinks we've agreed to, but I'm mulling over the information I've just been given. Brooke likes John. And John has asked me, the person she hates most in the world, to homecoming. Okay, Chloe repeats. I'll think about it, I say. I know you'll make the right decision. She walks away and Laura scurries after her, past a new homecoming poster near the language lab door. It's shaped like a dress on a hanger, with Brooke written on it in stylish cursive. Her posters are everywhere these days, with their terrible puns. Dress up your vote, Brooke for queen, and their blurbs about how unfair it is that people with limited funds may be prevented from participating in activities like choir because they can't afford the required uniform. I'm going to skip a tiny little bit. The commons is filled with people returning from lunch, and just as I pass the big front doors, I hear a familiar voice. Horn dog, boo dog, it says. Potato, potato. John is making his way up the common steps with what appears to be the entire A-list in tow. Chloe, Dina, Bud Dawes, Tim McNamara, even Laura Lindner. They're all together, laughing and sipping soda out of cups from the Chinese restaurant up the street. I pick up my pace, hoping to get past before they can see me, but it's as if John and I are destined to connect. He turns his head just as I duck mine, and our eyes meet. Hey, Catherine, hold up. The group around him stops, watching with naked interest as John travels to 6 short steps over to where I'm standing. So, he says, a scolding smile on his lips, I've been hearing some rumors. I glance over at Chloe, who raises an eyebrow. Couldn't this wait until anatomy? I whisper. What? He says. Why are you whispering? And what's with the cloak and dagger stuff? Don't tell me those guys were right. You're really backing out of homecoming? He looks genuinely disappointed, and I am now genuinely angry. Just what exactly does Chloe think I agreed to this morning, and how dare she try to speak for me? No, I say. I mean, I don't want to back out. It's just... What? What's it just? I'm tired and hungry. The apple in my hand wouldn't have been enough of a meal, even if I had been able to finish it before this conversation. I try to stammer out an explanation over the buzzing in my ears, but John is nodding as if he doesn't get or buy any of it. And I know that I haven't managed to utter one coherent sentence because he stops me by waving his hands in front of his face. Hold up, he says. And this is way too complicated. I don't need the history of the world here. All I want to know is, are we on or are we off? Over his shoulder I can see Chloe staring at me. They're all staring. And I flash back to the night when these same people watched as Brooke's fist slammed me into social oblivion. Suddenly everything comes rushing at me. The Blackmore, my parents and my empty college savings account, the pink invitation. Brooke. She likes John. We're on, I say loudly, so Chloe will be sure to hear. And as soon as I say it, a manic energy fills my body. There's an odd tingling, an electricity powering me forward as if the answer to all of my problems can be boiled down to this one thing. Me going to a dance with the one person nobody would ever expect. John smiles and says, good. See you in class. Then he ambles off to join his friends. I lock eyes with Chloe and then turn to walk back to the practice room to start working on my Blackmore music again. The rest of the day I can barely sit still. In choir, Brooke's radar is stronger than ever, but now, instead of letting it batter me, I stand up straighter, sing louder, and send back my own signal. That I am through being meek little Catherine, running away from punishments that have gone on for far too long. I am going to stand up and face Brooke, and I deserve to look good doing it. I'm going to stop right there, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this excerpt. If you do, go out and buy this book, and I will see you guys whenever I next do a vlog. Alright, and I think, and it's also Fragment Friday this month, so put your links in the Mr. Linky on my blog, and I can't wait to see everybody's fragments. Bye.